The 2017 NBA draft is in the books, and what a night it has been. Not only have we seen young players being added to this league, we've also seen players being moved around as well. I'm Madeline Burke, joined by SI NBA writer Ben Golliver, Knicks center Kyle O'Quinn, and Sacramento Kings guard Garrett Temple. Guys, first of all, Jimmy Butler moving from Chicago to Minnesota. That's the big trade of the night that we've seen, obviously leading up to this draft night. And in the weeks prior, we've heard rumors of where he could go, but maybe not so much of an amicable trade movement here. We see this tweet coming from Travell Gaines, his trainer, comparing the GM of the Bulls to drug dealers. What's your take on this?
What I'd say, though, is I understand the frustration. Like, Jimmy came in as a role player. He worked his way up to a superstar. They never really treated him like a superstar in Chicago. He's been on the trade block for like a year and a half, it feels like. There's been questions about him fitting with the coach, Fred Hoiberg. Did their styles match? Obviously, he gets traded to Minnesota, where he's reunited with the former coach he worked with pretty well. To me, I understand the frustration. If you're not going to treat your main guy like he's the whole show, if you're not going to really build a team around him, if you're not going to structure the offensive style around him, I understand why he would feel slighted. And maybe this isn't the perfect analogy. You never really want to compare people to drug dealers, but I get why he would be frustrated knowing that he thought he was going to be Chicago for this whole contract, and now he's gone.
And Jimmy's obviously in Paris right now on a trip. I mean, as a player, if you're finding this out, do you expect the team to kind of come to you first, or what are your expectations if you're going to be traded?
Well, we all know the draft day is one of the most days where there's most movement going on. Anything can happen. Every second counts, and it happened when he wasn't here. I mean, should he be at the draft? No, not really. But things got to move, and I think that if he's not putting things out there, I think nobody else in his camp should. So I think that tweet is a little too out of the realm of what should be said, but it's said, and now he has to deal with it.
Yeah, like he said, I think one thing, he has been on the trading block, but he's handled it like a champ. He has been a class act for Chicago his whole career, and I think he will have something to say to his guy, because we're talking about his guy's tweet and we're talking about Jimmy Butler, so it's connected to him. Chicago at the end of the day did draft him, did help mold him into the superstar that he has become. So even though they probably didn't handle this the right way, at the end of the day, he has been a class act this whole time, and it's not a good look. In terms of being contacted before, trades and whatnot, the business, the way it is now, superstars especially should, I think. I'm assuming they probably called him. Hopefully they did. According to his trainer, the way the GM is, it might not have happened. Yeah. So, but in situations like that, your superstar, when you trade him, that's definitely a call you should make.
Yeah, one thing I know about this situation, in the past, whether it's the trade deadline or last summer, I think he was getting a consistent message that they weren't going to move him, right? And so if you've heard that in the past and you kind of think, okay, these rumors are coming just out of left field, they're not real, but then it actually happens, that'll slap you in the face no matter what, even if you know this has been a possibility going on a year. I do think we should focus on the Minnesota side of this, too. These guys are exciting now, right? Karl-Anthony Towns, I think you guys would agree. I mean, he's one of the most untouchable, untradeable guys in the league. Young talent, huge upside. Andrew Wiggins probably needs some more polish. He can still, definitely grow his game. You throw Jimmy Butler into that kind of a youth core and say, hey, you take on all the major defensive responsibilities. You're going to probably play 46 minutes under Tibbs, trying to get this team into the playoffs. If you're a Timberwolves fan, you haven't been in the playoffs forever. Now you're getting a chance to do it. Potentially, sneaking in 7, 8 seed next season. This is a big win for them, I think.
I think it's a huge win. And I mean, like we've seen from the Timberwolves, they can fill it up. They can score. Jimmy Butler brings that two-way player, that defensive push that they need. I mean, in your opinion, does this make the Timberwolves a playoff team?
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to make a good push for it. You're putting two people back together that had success in Chicago with Tibbs and Butler. So that doesn't have to be worked out. They know each other very, very well. And I think that Jimmy Butler will serve a purpose as a player coach on the floor, because he knows how to, deal with Tibbs and the hard things that people say he may do. He's been through it, and he'll know how to translate that to the young guys.
That's a great point, because the knock on Andrew Wiggins sometimes is he floats. Like, he's so talented, does he lock in for 48 minutes? Who better to get you to lock in than Tibbs screaming your name, ice, 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 ice on the sideline, and then Jimmy Butler in your other ear screaming it from the court? I think that's a great point, and I think I'm buying stock in the Timberwolves. I know everybody was on their bandwagon at the start of last season saying this is the team that's going to jump up. Right. I still thought that was a little bit premature. Year 2 under Thibodeau, I think it's going to be very rosy.
A lot of young talent, a lot of great assets, and now Jimmy Butler joining this team. I think the Timberwolves are a team to watch this year.